Good evening. I'm Chief Robert McCullough of the Baltimore County Police. We're here to brief you on the incident this evening. At 7:12 p.m. This evening, Baltimore County Police were dispatched to the intersection of Loch Raven Boulevard and White Oak Avenue. That's in the 8500 block of Loch Raven Boulevard. The initial call for service. They spoke of multiple gunshots at that location. Responding officers responded to that location. The first officer that arrived on the scene found a vehicle on its side and in flames. Our officers searched the scene. They found multiple victims and alerted the fire department. The fire department came to the scene and basically took care of the victims at the scene and transported them to the hospital. At this time, we have 10 individuals that have been injured. One's deceased, 9 were transported to the hospital. Right now, our homicide and our Criminal Investigations Bureau are investigating this incident. It appears to be a mass shooting incident. We have multiple persons that are shot. Right now we're determining the circumstances and the conditions in this case. With me this evening we have to my right the Administrative Officer DeAndrea Walker. Behind me I have County Executive Johnny Oshesky. To my left Fire Chief Joe Dixon and Councilman Ertel. Chief Dixon will speak next in reference to the fire response. In terms of the police department, we are asking that anyone that might have information about this incident to contact Baltimore County Police at 410-887-4636. That's 410-887-4636, and that 4636 is info, and that information goes right to our info center. Next will be Chief Dixon.
Good evening. As stated, Joe Dixon, Chief of Baltimore County Fire Department. Thank you, Chief. Approximately the same time, hour 7:15, Baltimore County Fire Department was alerted of a fire in the area of Johnson Funeral Home. Responded to the scene. First units on the scene mitigated the fire, and of course now we have victims on the scene, and they rendered treatment as appropriate. So we're proud of our responders. We're proud of our partnership in public safety with Baltimore County and keeping our community safe. Thank you.
Next we'll have our County Executive Johnny Oshesky.
Thanks, Chief. Good evening, all. I first want to just thank the men and women of both the Baltimore County Fire and Police Departments for the incredible work they do day in and day out. Their response here is no different. Please, as Chief McCullough has said, if you have any information in regards to tonight's incident, please let them know so that they can bring those who perpetrated tonight's act to justice. I will just say that this is an incident that is shocking, particularly for those of us in Baltimore County. These types of incidents are unheard of here, and so it really shocks the conscience. However, we want our residents to know that we are, as always, fully committed to ensuring that both our fire and police departments have the full support and all the resources that they need from Baltimore County government to ensure that they bring this investigation to conclusion. Obviously, it's very early on, but our hearts go out to anyone who's impacted by violence. We will be supporting our public safety officials in the work ahead. And I just thank them for the work that they're doing now and that is ahead. So with that, I'll open things up to questions for the Chief or others, and appreciate your interest tonight.
I have a question for the Chief. What led to that car to catch fire? Like, was there some kind of, was there a crash first, or was it, what led to that fire?
We're still investigating that. What we do know at this time, there appears to be some type of incident that led to the vehicle crashing and catching on fire. Right now our investigators are looking into the circumstances leading up to that.
Now, was that car stolen, or did it belong to one of the victims?
That's something we're investigating right now. We don't have that information.
And you said 9 injured, 1 dead. Were they all shot, or were some injured in the fire?
Right now, they've been transported to local hospitals. They're being triaged there. We're still determining exactly how many were shot. We do know that there's at least 1 deceased, and we have 9 others who are injured at hospitals.
And that deceased was from the gunshot? Right?
That's what we would assume at this time. Yes.
Did the shooting happen outside of the funeral home, or was that just where the car was found on fire at the funeral home? And my second question, maybe entail with that, were all of the 10 victims found by that car, or were they in different locations?
At this time, we're still investigating that and trying to determine those circumstances. What we do know is that the vehicle appeared to flip over at that location. It caught fire somehow. We do know that there's multiple gunshots to the facade of the building. We know that there's some additional scenes that we're investigating right now where other gunfire took place throughout the neighborhood, and that was evidenced by the multiple calls for service from the neighbors who were calling 911 about the gunshots in the community.
Is there a threat to the public?
There's no threat at this time. We believe this to be a targeted incident. That it was isolated. It appears that the individuals in this case somehow knew one another, and that this incident was intentional and targeted towards the individuals that were involved in this incident.
How do you know there's no more threat to the public? If you said that there was multiple calls for gunshots in the neighborhood areas, obviously this event with 10 people being involved, have you made any arrests? Have you apprehended anyone?
Right now, our investigators are investigating this, and we're utilizing all our resources, gathering up evidence, and that includes video evidence and other information that we have in this case. And once again, we are asking the public to call us at 410-887-4636 at our info center if they have additional information. But we will leave no stone unturned, and we will dedicate every resource to this. We don't generally see this type of thing in our communities in Baltimore County. This is an isolated incident, and I assure you as your police chief that we will put all resources towards trying to clear this case.
And do you have an age range for the victims?
Not at this time. We're still working on gathering that information, and we want to make sure that when we do provide that information, that it's accurate and complete.
Any gun or weapon recovered from the scene?
At this time, we're still investigating that. We do know that there's some shell casings at this time, but we're not prepared to talk about that evidence at this time.
I have a couple clarifying questions. It's 10 people total involved.
Yes.
9 hurt, 1 dead.
1
correct?
deceased, yes.
Okay, so 10 people total.
Yes.
And then can you clarify the order of events a little bit more? I know you said there was multiple calls for service. Were there shots fired throughout the neighborhood? And then the shooting happened at the funeral home, and then the car, or what order of events did this all happen today?
What we do know at this point, there appeared to be some multiple gunshots. It appeared that it was like an ongoing rolling type of gun situation that led up to the funeral home, and it ended right there at the funeral home. So it was along that street and in that location.
So
Was
were
there
they
more than one shooter?
We don't know that at this time. We're still investigating that and gathering all the information we can. It's still early in our investigation. I'm very sure that we'll be investigating this well into the morning when we can have more daylight and we can look at the scene even more. But our crime lab, our investigators, homicide investigators, our entire team will be working on this throughout the night.
How many were pulled from the car?
I don't know at this time.
Was this connected to a funeral in progress at the funeral home? Or?
No. The funeral home appeared to be closed at the time, so we don't believe that it was associated to any type of funeral at that funeral
There
home.
weren't any kind of viewings. We had just gotten a viewer tip that it might have been connected to the homicide of Andrew Blessing. Is that?
At this time, we don't know all that. We have to investigate that. So.
All right, one more question, and then we're going to finish up here. Anyone else?
Just some clarity. You said it's an isolated and targeted incident and that the individuals knew each other. Is it all 10 individuals that knew each other?
Right now, we're trying to, unwind and determine all that stuff. We're working through the evidence. Of course, we're going to have to interview everybody that's involved and speak to all the witnesses and determine the different roles in this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.